All right, welcome to The Explainer. You know, in sports, we always hear that records are made to be broken. But today, we're talking about a tennis icon whose achievements, well, they might just be untouchable. That's right, we're diving into Chris Evert's career to figure out what made her an absolute legend. Okay, but before we get into all the crazy stats, we've got to talk about the mindset that made it all happen. And it really all starts with her famous nickname. A name that honestly tells you so much about her presence on the court. It was a huge part of her psychological game.
The Ice Maiden. Look, this nickname wasn't about her being cold or unfriendly, not at all. It was about being in total control. I mean, think about the pressure cooker of pro tennis. Evert's calm, cool composure, it was just as powerful as her forehand. It was her secret weapon for sure.
And that incredible mental game, it led to some absolutely unbelievable statistics. So let's get into it. Let's look at the hard numbers that really cement her dominance in the history books.
First up, the big one, 18. That's how many Grand Slam singles titles she won. I mean, just that number alone puts her right up there with the absolute all-time greats, no question. But this next number might be even more impressive. 34. That's how many Grand Slam finals she made it to. And get this, that's a record that still stands today, for both men and women. It just speaks volumes about her incredible consistency at the very top of the sport.
And speaking of consistency, how about this streak? For 13 straight years, Evert won at least one Grand Slam singles title. Just stop and think about that for a second. For more than a decade, it was a given that she'd be lifting one of the sport's biggest trophies. It's just mind-blowing.
This timeline here really drives home that long-term dominance. Look at this. From 1974 all the way to 1986, she never finished a season ranked outside the world's top 4. I mean, to stay at that elite level for that long, it's pretty much unheard of today. So all that success, what does it add up to? Well, for one, it meant she held that coveted world #1 ranking for a whopping 260 weeks. To put that into perspective for you, that is 5 whole years at the absolute peak of her sport. Just incredible. But if you want to see peak, I can't believe it dominance, you have to look at her record on clay. She won over 94% of her matches on that surface. Seriously, when she stepped onto a clay court, it wasn't really a question of if she would win, but how. She was practically unbeatable on the dirt.
But you know, her career wasn't just about her stacking up individual records. Nope. It was also defined by one of the greatest, most compelling rivalries in the history of, well, any sport.
Yeah, her battles with Martina Navratilova, they weren't just tennis matches. They were must-see events. The whole world was captivated by this rivalry, and you just know it pushed both of these amazing athletes to be even better.
And the sheer scale of their rivalry is just breathtaking. Over 16 years, these two titans of tennis played each other 80 times. 80! They didn't just compete in the same era. For a lot of people, they were the era.
So now, let's talk about her influence, because it goes way beyond her own wins and losses. Chris Evert fundamentally changed how the game is played.
And this is a huge part of it. Her signature two-handed backhand, it was this perfect model of precision and power. And back then, it was absolutely revolutionary. What was once her unique shot has now become like a standard, essential weapon in the modern game. And that's all because of her.
And get this, her influence didn't just stop when she hung up her racket. Oh no, even after retiring, she's kept shaping the sport as a really respected commentator, a top-tier coach, and she even founded her own academy to train the next generation of champions. So when you break it all down, when you look at the anatomy of a legend, Chris Evert's legacy is crystal clear, right? It's built on that record-breaking consistency, that iconic rivalry that literally defined a generation, a technical innovation that changed the whole game, and this lasting influence that is still shaping tennis today. And the sheer scale of her career just leaves us with this one fascinating question to think about. With all these incredible achievements, from the 34 major finals to the 13 straight years with a Grand Slam title, which one of Chris Evert's many records is truly the most unbreakable? Something to chew on.